Okay, guys, just want to go over the comma practice from week 1. Most of you got it all in. I'm not waiting anymore, so here we go. The first one, my neighbor is always making noise, yet he complains when our dog barks. Obviously, no. Remember, fanboys, for and nor, but, or, yet, so. We have a yet. Fanboys, for and nor, but, or, yet, so. When you have one of those, when you have a coordinating conjunction, you ask yourself, are both sides a complete sentence? Yes, both sides are a complete sentence. That means you need the comma. This one is obviously missing a comma. One of the groups here, I'm going through one of the groups, did very well with this. We got everybody said no, so correct. Next one, split up a little bit. We have for and, nor, but, or, yet, so, and. But you have to ask yourself, are both sides complete? Well, the burglar picked the lock. Okay, that's a complete sentence. You've got a subject and a verb. However, can you just say, stole the money? Well, you're missing a subject. Only when you have fanboys and both sides are complete, then you need the comma. In this case, this is not complete. Therefore, you don't need the comma. It is written correctly because there is no comma. Most of you got this right. Here again, we got for and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Both sides are complete. You have the comma. The dog chased the cat. Full sentence. The nimble feline got away. Full sentence. Good. So yes, you have the comma. That sentence is written correctly. Although Nixon broke the law, he was still loved by many. This is incorrect, right? Because it's missing the comma. This is a woobus. Remember? A woobus. Fanboys is coordinating conjunctions, and woobus is subordinating conjunctions. So things like after, although, as, when, while, until, because, before, if, since. When you have words like that, then you also need to be on the lookout for the comma. You don't have a complete sentence. So as I walked outside for recess, you can almost hear the pause, right? Comma. He was almost certain there'd be a gold star next to his name when you returned. You can hear it. So a woobus, you do need the comma when you have the subordinate clause, and that's when you have a subordinated conjunction. Although, as, when, while, until, because, before, if, since. Leave those out. Leave that. I keep it posted by my desk, a woobus, to remind me which are often considered coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions are fanboys. Subordinating conjunctions is a woobus. So here we have the subordinating conjunction, although. So it should be, although Nixon broke the law, comma, he was still loved by men. After a long pause, comma, the contestant got the answer correct. So again, that one is written correctly because the comma is there after the subordinate clause. The soldier sat on the crumpled, unmade bed. So with this one, we have a list. You've got two things describing the bed, crumpled and unmade. When you have two adjectives, two of anything, nouns, verb clauses, or in this case, adjectives, two words that describe the same thing. Now, if it was like incredibly describes how unmade the bed was, then you don't need it. But if both are describing the bed, you have to add a comma there. Crumpled describes the bed. Unmade describes the bed. You need a comma in between. Hey, looked good on this one. The customer purchased a pack of gum. So here you got a list. But I think a lot of times you guys can tell when it's a list, in this case, of nouns, gum, bag of chips, some beef jerky, you can see it. However, when it's a list of adjectives, it's a little tougher. Okay, so just ask yourself, if there's more than one thing, you need to add the comma. In this case, it's more than one adjective. You got it when it was more than one noun, gum, chips, and beef jerky. But watch out for those adjectives. I entered the house, and I sat on the couch because it looked so inviting. It is not written correctly. Why? Well, here you've got the woobus. So that is right. You have the comma before the because. But ask yourself, you've got fanboys. So are both sides correct? I entered the house. Well, that's a clause. That's a full sentence. I sat on the couch. So this is a compound complex sentence. You need the comma for the and you also need the comma before the because. I'm telling you guys, Woobus and fanboys. That's your key. The dragon flew into the air, swooped down upon the city, and let go a torrent of fire and flame. Well, you've got the list, so you've got the comma before each one, but here we have and. So how come you don't need it? Well, not every fanboys needs the comma. Remember, only if both sides are complete. Can you just say flame? No. So it's not a complete sentence, so you don't need a comma here. So it's written correctly, because you're putting the comma between the three things the dragon did. It flew into the air, it swooped down upon the city, and let loose a torrent of fire and flame. Here, we're getting better with this one. Musty describes the air, and dank describes the air. Thus, it is a list. You add the comma. Good. Did you want to attend Michigan State, comma, or Michigan University? Well, we've got a Woobus, right? So that means, in order to have the comma, I'm sorry, we've got fanboys, fanboys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. In order to have the comma, both sides have to be complete. It would be a compound sentence when you use fanboys. It is a complex sentence when you use a Woobus. So, did you want to attend Michigan State University? Yep, there's a sentence. It's an interrogatory sentence. But can you just say, the University of Michigan? No, you cannot. It's not a full sentence. You do not need the comma. No is the correct answer. Again, if you have the comma and it's before fanboys, you are saying both sides, after and before the coordinating conjunction, are complete sentences. However, the University of Michigan is not. It's just a subject, there's no verb. Did you want to go on a road trip or go fishing? This one will split down the middle again. Once again, ask yourself, fanboys. So, if both sides are complete, you add the comma. Did you want to go on a road trip? Alright, that's an interrogatory sentence. But can you just say, go fishing? Where's the subject? Who's going fishing there? So it is not complete, therefore the sentence is written correctly because it doesn't need the comma. It only needs the comma with fanboys when both sides are sentences. Both sides are not sentences, so you do not need the comma. So yes, this one was written correctly. Once again, you got this one, more of you got this one. Old describes the toy, broken describes the toy, you add the comma. The wonderfully majestic landscape stretched before us. The wonderfully majestic landscape. Now, it's written correct. Some of you might say, well, wait a minute, you've got two adjectives. Well, do they both describe landscape? Majestic describes landscape. But in this case, wonderfully is not describing the landscape. Wonderfully is describing the degree of majesty there is, or majesty, the degree of majesty there is. So it's only when both adjectives describe the noun. In this case, they don't. So it's written correctly. So watch yourself. That was a tricky one. And then the simple unadorned piece. Well, unadorned describes the piece, and simple describes the piece. You would add the comma. It is not written correctly. Okay, to help you study, you will notice I put in grammar practice. You're going to start doing several of these. I'm just going to show you the first one we put in. It's a board practice. So I've got this one we're practicing a Woobus, okay, for board practice number 1. There's going to be more board practices. As you go, notice, just ask yourself, are they written correctly, just like we did? And then to figure it out, you can scroll down. I'll show you quickly, and then the answers are below. Okay, so just go through it, ask yourself, is it written correctly, yes or no, and then scroll down and see if you are correct. That's what we're going to do for the grammar board practice. All right, thank you guys. Keep studying those commas, and we'll catch you next time.